Today we're going to look at the newborn baby of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry of Wales, um, Archie, Prince of Sussex, born May 6, 2019 at 5:26 a.m., Windsor, England. So using transformational Vedic astrology, we want to just see how all the planets are operating, when they're operating, and what we can do to remedy, improve the karma of the chart. So, first, if you were to look to the eastern horizon when Archie was born, you see the constellation associated with Aries rising at 18 degrees 34 minutes. If you uh, want to see what he's working on in this life, you will look for where the multicolor signs fall. The multicolor signs are one, first house, a first sign of Aries, ruled by Mars in the first house. So he's working on life purpose, health, reputation. And you see the fourth sign of Cancer, ruled by Moon in the fourth house. So he's working on family relationships. You see the fifth sign of Leo in the fifth house. So he's working on investments, education, children. Uh, you see the sixth sign of Virgo in the sixth house, ruled by uh, Mercury. So he's working on health and finances. And you see the seventh sign of Libra, ruled by Venus in the seventh house, working on partnerships, relationships. You see the ninth sign of Sagittarius in the ninth house, working on uh, education and teaching. And then you see the 11th sign of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn in the 11th house, working on income and friendships. Now, any multiconal signs that fall in the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th house become functional malefic, along with Rahu and Ketu, the elliptical nodes of the moon. So we do see the sixth sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury, in that sixth house. So Mercury, if it was close to the rising sign degree, could cause harm, but it's not. So in his chart, it's benign, except probably in the transit chart whenever it gets close to within 5 degrees of another planet that it aspects or is conjunct with, or Rahu and Ketu, or also if it's within 5 degrees of the rising sign, the most effective point. This rising sign degree becomes the most effective point of every house. Any planet that is within 5 degrees of that has some impact. So let's first look at how the planets are operating. Sun is at 21 degrees, so that is close to the rising sign degree. It does have impact. And in his chart, it's exalted. Sun is ruling the fifth house of children, education, creativity, investments. It is placed in the very first house of longevity, health, name, fame, and life purpose. So it says that it gives him the ability to teach. This is the house of education, and it is afflicted by K2. K2 is afflicting that sun. So it gives some spiritual aspect to teaching and sun. But at some point it can cause some calamity in his life when K2 is transiting right over or near Sun. So and it is also debilitated if you look in the Vamsa chart. So that makes Sun weak, and so it needs to be strengthened by wearing a ruby or sun colors. this can affect it, help it. And also, you could be wearing a kavash, which is a locket that contains the Devata yantra for sun. Moon is at 6 degrees. It's also exalted. So it is ruling the house of happiness through family. It gives happiness through family. And it is placed in the second house of wealth and recognition and continuation of the marital bond. So it gives happiness through family life. It gives him the ability to be emotionally connected to others, and it would be good for him to wear white clothing and a moonstone as well, because even though it is exalted and strong, it can cause harm if it's afflicted, and strengthening will help that by a Rahu or Ketu or Mercury when they're close to it. Mars is at 29 degrees. Now, any planet that's more than 25 degrees is said to be in old age, and older people cannot protect or promote their own significations. So, and any planet that's less than 5 degrees is in young, adolescence, and adolescents cannot protect or promote their own significations. So Mars is weak, and it is ruling the first house of life, purpose, health, and longevity, name, and fame, and it is placed in the second house of wealth, recognition, and continuation of the marital bond. So it gives him life purpose through public speaking. This is the house of speech, and it gives ability to speak with compassion. It aspects Jupiter, so also there's a connection with teaching there. It gives him public speaking to teach. It would be good for him to wear red coral to strengthen Mars because it is weak, and red clothing. Mercury is at 4 degrees, just very slightly weak, less than 5 degrees. Now, again, it is a functional malefic because it is it's a Multrikona sign in the 6th house. So Mercury is ruling this house of health and financial issues, conflicts, debts, fire, theft, and cheating, and it is placed in the 1st house. So it does give him, it is benign because it's not close to the Multicona, close to the rising sign degree, but it gives him the ability to heal himself and others through communication, and writing and publishing. It gives interest in the ability to in communication and business as well. Now, the way to transform Mercury is to chant or listen to chants of Vishnu Sahasranam on Wednesdays, or just any kind of prayers on Wednesdays, and charities for children, helping children, especially on Wednesdays. Mercury is associated with Wednesdays. Jupiter's at 29 degrees, again in old age, it's weak, and it is ruling this house of teaching and father, and gives the ability to teach, and it's placed in this house of obstacles. It gives him ability to solve problems and do research. And it aspects Mars, so also there's an aspect of engineering involved, and would be good for him to wear a yellow sapphire or any yellow stone, or wear a kavash containing a locket containing the Devata yantra for Jupiter. Venus is at 24 degrees. That's close to the most effective point, so it has impact and it is exalted. So he has three exalted planets, which gives a lot of strength to his chart. And it gives him a beautiful wife and partnerships with other people in foreign countries. It would be good for him to wear a diamond and wear white clothing as well. Saturn's at 26 degrees, just slightly weak, and it is ruling the house of income and friendships, and it gives income through service and teaching. It is afflicted by Rahu and Ketu, so it can cause some setbacks, and it is gives a hardworking father and a spiritual father, and it denies older siblings. This is the house of older siblings. Blue sapphire would be good for him to strengthen Saturn, as well as wearing a kavash containing the Devata yantra for Saturn. Rahu and Ketu are functionally malefic for every chart. So it is close to the most effective point and gives the desire. K2 is in the house of business and communication, entrepreneurial success, so it gives a desire for entrepreneurial success with a spiritual aspect to it, since K2 is in this just opposite it. Because they're just slightly close to the most effective point, they afflict 5, 7, and 9 houses away. So there is some affliction to relationships and business. So it would be good to transform Rahu and Ketu through chants and charities, helping people who cannot help themselves, and Shiva chants on Saturdays, Ganesh chants on Thursdays, helping spiritual organizations as well. So these are the main points. Now, Aries rising, it says that he will be driven, independent, passionate, and innovative, and needs to learn patience because Aries is ruled by Mars. So these are the main aspects of Archie, Prince of Sussex. If you're interested in a Vedic astrology reading, you can go to vastucreations.com under services. If you're interested in learning about transformation Vedic astrology and being certified, you can go to American Institute of Vastu.com. Thank you for listening, and all blessings to the royal family.